friends and I came to the Game House in LA. Actually, Glenville. Where are we? Glendale. Yeah, I don't know where anything is. All right, so I'm sitting down with one of the owners of Game House Cafe, and yeah, we're just gonna chat a little bit.
Hi, my name is Robert Cron. I'm one of the owners and founders of Game House Cafe. We've been in operation since about mid-November of 2013, so it's about 15, 16 months, and things have been going very well. The audience for it found itself really, really quickly, and we keep breaking records. We've been having record numbers every several months. We'll break records. So Friday evening through Sunday evening is usually pretty jam-packed. We've had even since about a year ago, January of last year, we ended up having wait times, and people ended up having to turn people away because we just didn't have the seats filled on the busy days. But it's part of the nature of the model. We are an anti-restaurant restaurant. We are not about turning tables. We're about having people sit and play as long as you want. The basic structure is you pay $5 a person to sit down and play games. We have a selection of over 900, I think now, board and card games, over 900 individual titles. We started with 650 when we first opened. We're up to over 900 now.
Wow.
And you can stay as long as you want, play as long as you want, play as many as you want, play as much as you want, all for that flat $5 fee. And then the food and drink is on top of that. It's like standard coffee house fare. We have a whole spectrum of people. We have people who are new to the hobby. We have people who are hardcore hobbyists. And then everything in between. People who just kind of heard about it and thought, hey, well, it's an interesting thing to do for like a first date or like a get together for the family. And we'll have people who are sort of in the know and in the thick and keeping tabs on all the latest and greatest recent board game stuff. It's cheaper than a movie, more interactive than a movie. A lot of what we get too is a lot of people who are like, particularly the hobbyists and the people who are kind of keeping their thumb on the pulse of it, is we'll have a situation where someone will say, well, I got a chance to try this game at Game House, and I decided I'm going to buy it, or I don't like it enough to buy it, but I know if I want to play it, I can always come and visit you guys, and it's there on the shelves. So it's kind of a good little, launch pad for a lot of people to kind of test games out and see if they even like it enough to buy it. So we kind of take that pressure off, that chasing the dragon, sort of finding the best ultimate board game. So we don't offer Wi-Fi, partly by design, and partly because my Wi-Fi is terrible here anyway. But mostly because we want people to be off their phones. We want to do an offline, unplugged experience. I know a lot of times in my game group we used to experience people who are constantly on their phone, constantly on their devices, and not really paying attention to the game. And we wanted to kind of break people away from that. We wanted people to have just a completely offline, analog experience, kind of like what we had growing up. Like when I grew up, I was playing Monopoly and Risk and Battleship and all that stuff like that, and I didn't have a cell phone to distract me. So we wanted to kind of go back to that. So we don't offer Wi-Fi because of that. We want people to kind of unplug. We want it to be a low-tech experience. And I think a lot of people kind of get it. And we've had a lot of people comment, particularly people who don't know what we're doing or who've just kind of wandered in. And a lot of people have said, wow, it's great to see everyone's not on their phones or their tablets, or they're not looking at their devices. They're actually kind of having fun with each other, talking to each other, rather than texting the person across the table. They're actually talking to them. So it's it was a lot of work. It was 2.5, almost 3 years. We started in January of 2012. Now it's January 2015. So we started in January 2012, kind of putting it on paper and seeing if it could happen, and if we could do it, and what it would be like, and what it would cost, and what it would entail. And then it was a lot of research and figuring it out, revising and re-revising and revising again. But it took about from January 2012 to November 2013 to get it to opening point.
Was one piece of advice that you would give someone looking to do something similar, like open a game cafe?
Have deep pockets. The hardest thing, I think the thing that I think I reiterate to a lot of people who don't quite realize it when they're first going in is because we have the cafe aspect of it as well, and we're not just a game store or a game space that has Gatorade and pretzels or goldfish or anything like that. It's actual food. So a lot of people don't realize that there's that whole food aspect of it. So when I always tell people, the first time I talk to them or email them, is like you can't think of yourself as the owner of a game space. You have to think of yourself as a restaurateur, because 99% of your time is going to be spent dealing with the restaurant aspect of things. You're dealing with the building codes and the safety codes, and then the ADA stuff for the restrooms, or you're dealing with health department stuff. The health department comes 3 times a year, and there's these things you have to do. So a lot of people kind of go into it with loving the games, but not understanding that the game thing is certainly the gimmick, but that ultimately you are a restaurant. You're creating a cafe, coffee house style situation, and I'd say if you stripped the board game aspect out of it, is this something that you could do just as could you see yourself just doing this thing as a restaurant? And if you have no idea what you're getting into and all that, and to be perfectly fair, I didn't either. My partner had some restaurant experience, I had not, but we knew going in that the lion's share, the bulk of it, would be dealing with the food aspect of it. Health department doesn't care if you have the newest, latest, and greatest game on your shelf. They care if you have hot water in the restroom and there's nothing crazy, no ants or roaches or anything crazy like that for evidence that they can see. That's what health department cares about, and that's the sort of thing that can make or break a restaurant. I've said it before in numerous other situations, but it needed to be a great big love letter to board gaming, because we all love board gaming, and we wanted it to be a place for people who love board games to come and love them even more.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you get to your game that you have probably. Hopefully you'll get to play it.
So I'm trying to remember how to play it. So hopefully employees will remember.
Yeah. I interrupted them as they were sitting down to learn.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I could see.